A student at the School of Social Work, recently it's come to my attention that Trimet is not only fining passengers without valid fare, an incredibly inflated citation, but individuals also standing on the MAX platform are subject to this citation as well. The Trimet officer that I spoke to regarding this policy informed me that the procedure was put in place to, quote, deter homeless people from begging, end quote, on the platforms. I'd like to carefully outline two of my greatest concerns regarding this policy. The first is the cost of this particular fine. An individual cited for not having proof of valid fare on the MAX platform or on a Trimet transportation vehicle is subject to a fine of $175. This is 70 times the amount of fare for an adult passenger. This is an exorbitant amount and further serves purely a punitive function. This amount is more than a Class D speeding violation in Oregon, which is enforced to keep neighborhoods and roads safe to reduce harm and loss of life. A passenger without valid fare is not causing a safety concern of this kind. Therefore, a fine of this disproportionate amount is ludicrous and should be dramatically reduced. For many of our citizens and families, this is an amount that's simply out of reach. Many individuals and families in Portland Metro and surrounding areas are not privileged with financial flexibility and do not have access to financial supports to aid in paying such an excessive fine. For many individuals or families, paying this fine may mean that they cannot buy groceries or heat their home or pay their electric bill or pay for housing which threatens houselessness. Any fine that is so costly that it places individuals and families in a position where they must choose to pay the fine or forego human necessities is extortionate and a matter of social justice violation. My second concern is in regard to the comment the Trimet officer made in referring to the practicality behind the MAX platform fine. Are we in Portland so privileged, so elitist, that we cannot spare the humanity to share these limited shelters with those that are experiencing the devastation of homelessness? Are we so callous in Portland society that we would support and uphold policies that punish individuals for seeking a moment of respite from inclement weather or from elements, simply for our own convenience? So the solution is to cite these individuals with a fine that is so far out of the realm of their resources. They are either forced to succumb to the courts for community service or simply not pay and face the possibility of future punitive action from Trimet and the courts. The message in these scenarios seems to say that there are certain community members in Portland that matter to Trimet, and there are those that do not. Trimet's policies and procedures regarding fines and the amount of those fines are clearly oppressive to individuals in the community who experience financial instability. This is not a culture I can support or want to promote in Portland. I stand with these communities and urge Trimet to consider less oppressive policies in regard to citations and fines, and further urge Trimet to make fares and prices more equitable and accessible to these communities to reduce the amount of financial burden on these populations. Thank you.